This here is my initial coverage from a year ago talking about Rich Campbell. And this is what it was like a year ago. Asmongold, Rich Campbell, OTK statement, etc. And so I covered all this a year ago, December 18th, 2022, same shirt. This jacket got lost in luggage. I haven't seen this jacket in fucking 12 months. I'm still pissed off about it. Anyway, so this is my original take on the Rich Campbell situation. My original take was, okay, we have one woman who has seriously accused him of something, something that is in effect a rape allegation, and we have her personal testimony, but we don't have any actual proof. All we have is her word, and so you can take that as you get ready, huh? Yeah. Anyway, and so that's what we had, and then within a day or two, Rich Campbell leaves OTK. Was he kicked out? Did he willingly step down? I'm not sure. I had kind of guessed that, like, listen, he left OTK real fucking fast. Was he kicked out? I would guess maybe he was kicked out, and he was kicked out real fast, or he left real fast. And so I was thinking, the OTK guys probably know more to this story than the public does. Maybe Asmongold, who's a very close friend of his, know more about this than we do, than I do. So maybe there's more to the story. And then Rich Campbell posted a public statement on Twitter saying, hey, I've heard the allegations. I need to take some time to gather my thoughts. You'll hear from me soon. That was a year ago. We never heard anything from him until today. And so where initially I was like, listen, I think it's too early to jump to conclusions. There is actually no proof for this. We have one woman's testimony, and that's it. And she could be lying. Who knows? A year has gone by, and Rich Campbell never made any effort to defend himself. Publicly, he didn't make any effort whatsoever. And so it gets to a point where it's like, if you're not even going to defend yourself, if you're not going to stick up for yourself, how could you expect anyone else to stick up for you? If you're not going to make an effort to clear your name or provide, counter evidence or something, or at least try to set the narrative straight, then why would anyone else stick up for you if you won't even do it for yourself? And so that was the case. It was totally on ice for a year until today. I'm going to refer to this Entice post. Rich Campbell files for a $3.6 million defamation lawsuit. Former World of Warcraft streamer and AWC host Rich W. Campbell has filed a defamation lawsuit in the tune of $3.6 million after he was accused of sexual assault in December of 2022. The lawsuits are against his accuser and 10 unnamed individuals. So I guess now we know why he's been silent for 12 months. This is the first time we've heard from Rich, who last tweeted in December 2022 that he was, quote, collecting his thoughts, once the accusations were made, which resulted in him stepping down from his position within OTK. I think there was an update. I thought that Entice had... Is it here? Here. Rich's lawyer... representative responds. After Dexerto had posted an article about Rich's recent lawsuit filings, a representative for Rich's lawyer, Brian Turnauer, reached out to the media outlet with a statement from the attorney. Rich Campbell dedicated his entire adult life to creating content and building one of the most successful brands in the Twitch sphere. All of that work was dismantled in a matter of hours when a woman with whom he had a consensual sexual relationship with became enraged after he refused to pursue a more committed relationship and posted false statements on social media meant to destroy Mr. Campbell's life and livelihood, he said. People are complaining that there's ads on the stream. Just sub. Lol. If you're broke, boy, just say so. Not my problem. Okay, there we go. There, okay. Or figure out how to use an ad blocker. Okay, let's go. So this is the statement from Rich's attorney's representative. The attorney has a rep. I want to see how people are responding to this tweet here. We're laughing at it. The lawsuits are against his accuser and 10 unnamed individuals. So you could take this multiple ways. And we're gonna spend one entire video, 1 hour talking about this, probably 2 hours actually, with how much I pause. We know there's one, going into this, we know there's one named person and 10 unnamed individuals. Who are the unnamed individuals? Are the unnamed individuals other accusers, other women? Or are the unnamed individuals people that from his point of view, falsely perpetuated this narrative that he was a sexual abuser or a rapist? Is it possible these unnamed individuals are former friends of his? Is it possible the unnamed individuals are OTK members? Is it possible the unnamed individuals are YouTubers or other random streamers, maybe not in OTK, that were covering this in a very uncharitable way? I don't know. Let's see. Let's play the video. Let's try to piece this together. I'm gonna also have a I'm going to have a notepad up because maybe I want to take some notes. I'm not sure. Okay. Try to piece this together. Okay.
December 15th, Rich is on a plane to Bern, Switzerland to host Race to the World First Vault for World of Warcraft on the Echo channel.
Ireland, thank you, man.
His
Thank
girlfriend is having a viral moment on a clip discussing his obsession with wanting to see her pregnant.
100%. You have a type.
He has a pregnant fetish. He really wants to get me pregnant.
Ooh, that's kind of hot though.
He has a what?
He wants to get me pregnant.
324, he
Is wanting to get your girlfriend pregnant, is that a fetish? I think that's like not really a fetish. I think that's like basic human male desire. Probably normal. I think it's probably normal.
He tweets, just had an awkward conversation with my parents that started with, we were on Instagram. He replies to a random person at 3:35 saying, bro, I'm literally flying to Switzerland to play WoW right now. Someone's not so happy about his girlfriend's viral moment.
Hey, my name is Azalea Lexi.
Former lover Azalea Lexi goes onto her Twitter account and accuses Rich of assault. She posts, I know Mia Malkova isn't lying about Rich Campbell's pregnancy fetish because he said he wanted to get me pregnant while he assaulted me and then sent me to the street at 3 a.m. by myself with nowhere to go. 11:46 the next day, Azalea
What's with the whistle thing? God, that's so fucking annoying.
posts a twit longer accusing OTK founder Rich Campbell of the most heinous crime a man can commit against a...
Wait, hold up. How long did it take her to put that twit longer together? Real quick. This was 4:16.
Pregnant while he assaulted me and then sent me to the street at 3 a.m. by myself with nowhere to go. 11:46.
Okay, so it took her like, a couple hours later. Okay.
The next day, Azalea posts a twit longer accusing OTK founder
It was the next day. Okay.
Rich Campbell of the most heinous crime a man can commit against a woman. At this point, Rich is live on air. He seems agitated, continuously checking his phone. What we now know is during the break, he gets a phone call from a high-ranking member at OTK letting him know about the twit longer. He then goes back to recording. At the end of the set, he gets another phone call that changed his life from the same person at OTK.
And he was live. He was casting.
6 p.m. Rich Campbell tweets, I have read the statements against me today. I will share my side of the story, but I need some time to collect my thoughts. OTK has requested that I resign from my position, and I have agreed. I will make an update soon.
Okay, so by the way, Rich Campbell was one of the 5 original founders of OTK. Keep that in mind. And OTK is a multi-million-dollar organization. So I'm not sure exactly how they did their equity split, but Rich probably had some amount of OTK equity, so they would have had to buy him out, or maybe he just out of respect or something walked away from his equity. But it's possible that his equity in OTK at that point was worth millions of dollars. Totally possible.
6:06 p.m. OTK tweets, Rich Campbell has resigned effective.
Why did they kick him? Easy. Are you blind and deaf? Have you just been tuning in for like 3 seconds? What's going on here, bro? Pay attention. Pay the fuck attention.
Immediately,
pay attention.
They stand against sexual harassment and assault, and they thank their community for their support. Rich Campbell's exit is another asterisk by OTK, as they were just coming off announcing that Ms. Kiff did not cover up anything with former best friend Crazy Slick assaulting Adriana Lee, while she was passed out at a party. Ironically, Mizkif, Crazy Slick, and Adriana Lee have pending defamation case as this video is being recorded. But what if I told you Rich Campbell did not write this tweet? What if Rich did not think that posting it, he was truly resigning from the organization he helped found and help grow, that he did not agree to leave the organization? Today, you will finally get Rich Campbell's side of the story in the form of a defamation lawsuit filed against Azealia Lexi. But before we get to his lawsuit, we gotta cover her lawsuit that she filed against him.
All right, I didn't know about that. She filed a lawsuit
Rich
against
Campbell
him.
Allegations seem to unify the Twitch community. Everyone spoke on his allegations and came up with a similar outcome and outlook on the whole situation.
Nowadays, it's kind of scary to be like, hey, I think this person is kind of cool, nice guy, because like 4 years later you find out there's
one of the founders of OTK got exposed for essay and allegation.
I mean, it's a hit at OTK, but I mean, if nobody in the org had prior knowledge and nobody knew, and there's no shot anybody could have known, I mean, there's no point going after OTK.
I believe her account of the events here because they're pretty consistent with the text messages. So, yeah.
The evidence first. I mean, if you're asking a question like this, that either implies that you haven't looked into it at all, okay? Because there is plenty of evidence, or
There really wasn't evidence of anything this girl said. It entirely could have happened. So what we know, I'm remembering back to this, I covered this a year ago. What we know is that they were having a sexual relationship. She went up to his hotel room or apartment or something, and then she left later that night. What happened inside of the hotel room or the apartment? We really don't know. We don't know. We have one person's story. We haven't even heard Rich's side of the story. He never even told his side. So we have, like I said, we have we have the woman's testimony, which could be true or could be not true. Who knows?
You have looked into it, and no amount of evidence matters because you just want to fucking deny it.
The allegations must be true, because why would he resign? And why would OTK act so swiftly? These lawsuits are likely going to split the audience. One lawsuit, you're going to see Azealia Lexi furthering her case to show that, hey, crime was committed against her. And Rich Campbell will have to pay for that crime in the form of monetary losses. In the other lawsuit, people may see their favorite streamer finally sharing his side of the story, finally speaking out to clear his name, not in the court of public opinion with a twit longer, but in the actual court of law, to hold Azealia accountable for allegedly misleading millions of people, making Rich out to be someone he's truly not. The only difference I've seen on the surface of both of these lawsuits is one lawsuit, that's Rich's, may have a witness to clear his name. He also goes into detail.
Rich Campbell may have a witness to clear his name
from OTK, and gives a side of the story that the world has never saw. Now, we all know someone who was falsely accused of committing a crime, as well as someone who was rightfully accused of breaking the law. And I'm not trying to steer you one way or another when it comes to Rich and Azealia, but I will provide you with all of the publicly, legally obtained information to help you make up your own mind. And all that I ask is that you do not harass either party, but feel free to share who you support at the end of this video and why. All right, before we get into her lawsuit against Rich, let's look at the twit longer, because to my surprise, there's an element in her lawsuit that is 100% absent from her.
Do you think if it comes out she trolled him, do you think Asmongold will apologize? We have no idea what interactions Asmongold and Rich Campbell have had privately. We have no, and also I wouldn't, trolling is not the word I would use. We have no idea what Asmongold and Rich said behind closed doors. No idea, and it would be totally ignorant and ridiculous to assume that something was said or something was not said.
No idea. Rich and I have a very up and down and off and on friendship and relationship for 4 years that started towards the end of his career on the.
Okay, if you want to know the allegation, you should pay attention. This is the twitlonger that ruined Rich Campbell's life. Pay attention right now.
Call of Duty desk. Our physical relationship started in Columbus, Ohio in 2019 and was a disaster from there. There were several times during the 4 years that he made it clear he only viewed me as a sexual object, But when I would confront him about it, I would get love bombed and gaslit into thinking that he cared about me and wanted to be with me. This would happen during the single periods of my life. As soon as I would be in a relationship, he would text me or call me. I would tell him I was seeing someone else. After he lied to me about having a girlfriend for an extended amount of time in June of 2021, I didn't speak to him or see him until he called me asking to apologize around the end of July, beginning of August. I also had a deep love for Rich as a person and friend. As the beginning of our friendship, he was there for me like not a lot of people are. So I gave him another chance to be friends. He told me he would prove to me that he was working on being a better person and that he wanted to be in my life. Then in October, he began his typical antics and begged me to come to Texas around his subathon. I said no because I did not think it was appropriate to stay with him because I did not want to sleep with him and that I did not trust him. He also came to LA in December of 2021 and asked to see me, but mainly was only asking me to come to his hotel. I said no due to the fact that I was not interested in having sex with him. There was not much communication until I was at French restaurant AOC in the Upper East Side on January 30th of this year with two girlfriends. As the night came to an end around 12 a.m., I Ubered to Rich's apartment in Williamsburg because he asked to see me. We were in.
This is something that really struck me as being just fucking insane. She's been turning him down. She identifies that he's been only wanting to use her for sex for years, and that he's gaslighting her. He's love bombing her. And then at 1 in the morning in New York, she goes to his apartment. Why? Why would you do that?
The movie theater in his building and talking, and he repeatedly kept attempting to get me to lay on him. I repeatedly said, I'm not here to sleep with you, and I don't want that. At one point in the theater, he said, I think tonight is the last time I'm going to see you. After trying to speak to him for an hour about our relationship and the awful way he treated me, he just continued to deflect and said that there's no reason to talk about it because it made him feel bad. He said that we couldn't stay in that room and we needed to go up to his apartment per the apartment rules. I said I don't trust that, and he promised me that was the situation, that nothing would happen, and was respecting the boundary I set. We go upstairs and he starts talking about how hot it would be if I got pregnant. Now the next part I can't say because YouTube would bury this video. Afterwards, I called my friend who I was staying with.
Well, I'll say it. I remember reading this. So per her account of the story, they end up, she doesn't say exactly how they get in this position, but they end up cuddling naked in the bed. Somehow, boom, flash forward, they're naked in bed laying together, and he, per her side of the story, he inserts himself inside of her without her consent and has sex with her. And she said that she was not looking to do that. So this is effectively a rape allegation, and that's what happened. That's what she says happened.
So I could come back, and she wasn't answering the phone because it was late at night and she was already asleep. Rich said I couldn't stay there. So I called the hotels around New York City looking for a cheap room. I asked her for the nearest subway, and it was a 20-minute walk. Without saying anything to him, I left. I cried in his lobby, and as he texted me, "You okay?" I never replied. I left. I went to a sketchy hotel in Chinatown and processed it by myself. I left New York the next day and never spoke to Rich again. Now, after she posted her tweet longer, she got a ton of backlash. But people like, Charlie and Asmongold came to her defense, and I agree with the statements that they made.
You are not on our team. You are not helping us. You are not doing us any favors or doing anyone any favors by calling a girl that comes out and tells this kind of a story a liar.
I saw so many people in the comment section of her making that twit longer, accusing her of just clout chasing and shit. That is the most terminally online brain dead take ever. Like, there's just legitimately...
So Asmon saying this makes me think that he probably had a private conversation with Rich, and this is what I had assumed, and this is why I had assumed that Rich had disappeared for a year. He turned up today. I had figured that Rich and Asmon had a private conversation, and Rich had sort of admitted to all of this. And then Asmongold makes his statement that Rich Campbell is off the face of the planet. But, and that was the conclusion. I thought that was the conclusion. But no, Rich Campbell is back today dropping a $3.6 million defamation lawsuit against 11 people. Okay. Let's watch the video.
Nothing to gain.
See, unless you know something is not true, you should not be calling the people a liar. Now, you can suspect that they're maybe dishonest or embellishing, but calling...
At most, you can say, there's not enough evidence to support this. At most, you can say, let's wait for more evidence. Let's wait and see what else comes out.
When someone is a liar is saying that you have undeniable proof that what they're saying is false. However, when we get to Rich's lawsuit, he calls her a liar and clout chaser. Here is the lawsuit filed by Alexis. I blocked out her last name because it's not something that's just publicly available. It was filed on December 4th, and I blocked out his address because in a way it doxes him. Now let's get to the lawsuit. She wants a trial by jury, which is standard. What does she say? Plaintiff Alexis complaining.
Can I see when she filed this? When did she file this lawsuit?
Calls her a liar and clout chaser. Here is the...
Oh. 1 month ago exactly. She, after 1 year, filed a lawsuit against him. She did this 1 month ago. December 4th, 1 month ago.
The lawsuit filed by Alexis. I blocked out her last name because it's not something...
On what grounds? What's the deal?
Available. It was filed on December 4th, and I blocked out his address because in a way it doxes him. Now let's get to the lawsuit. She wants a trial by jury, which is standard. What does she say? Plaintiff Alexis complaining that the defendant, by her attorneys, respectfully allege upon information and belief that the following is true. The complaint is based on the defendant Richard Campbell's assault of plaintiff Alexis. The defendant Richard Campbell apartment, again blocked out. There's the parties. Now here are the facts of the case. On or about the early morning of January 31st, 2022, defendant Richard Campbell invited her to his apartment. Once the plaintiff arrived at his apartment building, he ushered her into the public movie theater in the aforementioned building so they could hang out. Once inside the movie theater, Campbell made several advances towards her, which she denied all of them. Now the twit longer.
So I wonder, do you think she has like CCT security footage of do you think she has footage of Rich like kind of coming and she's like, no? Do you think she has like if she had camera footage of that, of her sort of turning him down like that, saying, hey, no, please get away from me, then that would help her case, yeah?
Mentioned this. After an hour or so, defendant Campbell told the plaintiff that they could no longer stay in the movie theater. As per the building's rules, it's going to close soon. Rich Campbell, according to her, then suggested that they should go to his apartment unit instead. She was hesitant to join him in his apartment, but he promised her that nothing sexual would happen. So she decided to join him upstairs. Once inside Campbell's apartment, he began touching himself and begging to be with her. He then attempted to take her clothes off, but she continued to deny his advances. Soon after, Campbell forced himself upon her and committed SA, and he also finished inside. His actions were intentionally done with...
So if that happened, that's very bad. If that is actually what happened, that's rape. That's pretty bad. That's not good.
Malice, cruelty, and or deliberate willful wanton, which is just, intentionally trying to cause harm to her, and reckless indifference to her rights, and were done in conscious disregard of the probability that the conduct will result in harm to her physical and emotional well-being. His conduct was so outrageous, shocking, despicable, and contemptible that it exceeds reasonable bounds of decency as measured by the average member of the community would tolerate, and demonstrates an utter disregard for the consequences that would follow. As a result, Azealia is entitled to the recovery of both compensatory and punitive damages from the plaintiff.
Okay, so the question is, why did she file this lawsuit a year later or 11 months after the fact? Okay, so she wants compensation from Rich. She wants some amount of money from Rich Campbell, and she's requesting a jury, which means her legal team think that they have enough proof or evidence that Rich actually did rape her in the apartment, that they can convince a jury that he did it. They must be confident that they can convince a jury that he actually did do that. All right?
Money. By reason of the foregoing,
They must think they
plaintiff
are.
has been damaged in a sum that exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all courts would otherwise have jurisdiction, which makes me question why didn't this get filed in federal court. As in for the first cause of action, assault, plaintiff repeats, reiterates, and realleges each and every allegation contained above, as if in the same were set forth more fully at length herein. In committing the sexual assault described herein, defendant Campbell had the real and apparent ability to cause imminent harmful or offensive bodily conduct to plaintiff and intentionally did a menacing act in threatening such contact to her when she was under the influence of alcohol and unable to provide consent.
So I just want to walk through the timeline. I don't like this. They're downstairs in the movie theater in the apartment building, and we are told to believe that Rich Campbell is physically imposing himself on the woman, and she is turning him down, turning him away. And then he says, hey, we need to go upstairs because the movie theater is going to close down. We can't be down here anymore. We need to go up to my room. She says, well, I don't want to have sex. I don't want to go up to your room. I'm not comfortable doing that. He says, come on, it's going to be okay. So she goes upstairs. And then in his room, she starts drinking alcohol. What is going on here? What is going on here?
This blame it on the alcohol theory was not mentioned in the twit longer whatsoever that she made a year ago. The sexual assault and exploitation of Rich Campbell caused apprehension of such contact in plaintiff, which is her. The alleged conduct constituted sexual assault. The alleged conduct constituted a violation. As a direct and appropriate result of that intentional, harmful, and offensive conduct, plaintiff has suffered general and special damages. As for the second cause of action, sexual battery, plaintiff repeats, reiterates, and realleges each and every allegation contained above.
So, do we have any legal experts? I would imagine that if this goes to trial and the jury finds him guilty, not only is he compensating her financially, but he's probably a felon, right? Like this. These are like sexual assault and rape charges. He's probably a felon on top of having to pay her, right? Probably.
Of, as if the same were set forth fully in length herein. In committing
it's a civil
assault described
okay, so he wouldn't be okay.
In committing SA described herein, defendant Campbell touched plaintiff without plaintiff's consent and with the intention of causing harmful, offensive.
So then, let me get inside her mind. Rich Campbell, this is her take. Rich Campbell is a rapist. He's a sexual assaulter. But I don't care about criminally punishing him and getting him locked up behind bars or convicted as a felon to maybe protect society and other women from him because he's a rapist. What I do care about instead is getting money. Okay.
Bodily contact to the plaintiff. The alleged conduct constitutes a battery. As a direct and proximate result of the intentional, harmful, offensive contact, she suffered general and special damages. I mean, they tacking on the charges. As for the third cause of action, intentional infliction of emotional distress, we've seen this. She, says, hey, the above is true. He engaged in reckless, extreme, and outrageous conduct by SA-ing her when she was under the influence and unable to provide consent. Now, the question I have to ask is why was this theory of alcohol and unable to consent not mentioned in the twit longer? I'm sure people are going to have some issue with me just asking that question, but his lawyer's going to
We got to ask it.
The defendant Campbell's misconduct was so shocking and outrageous that it exceeds the reasonable bounds of decency as measured by what the average member of the community would tolerate and demonstrate in utter disregard by defendant Campbell of the consequences that would follow. Defendant Campbell knew that his reckless, extreme, and outrageous contact would inflict severe emotional and psychological distress on her, and she did in fact suffer severe emotional, psychological distress as a result.
If she actually was raped in this way, I would imagine that would be very, very traumatic. That would be terrible. And you know what? I think she should be compensated in some way, if everything is true here. Real quick side question, guys. I am 30. I have never been summoned for jury duty. I have never once even been summoned to sit on a jury. Is that weird? I'm 30 years old. Lucky? Wow, you have? I don't know. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe they know. Maybe the government knows. Yeah, maybe the government knows. Yeah,
including
they know.
severe mental anguish, humiliation, emotional and physical distress. Now this may be I hate to say like a cookie cutter thing, but this typically goes with the infliction of emotional distress. However, if you want to make your case stronger, like if you say, hey, I got trouble sleeping, I went to therapy, things like that. This did happen in the Cardi B case, which played well for her.
The Cardi B case,
by the
true.
way of this reckless, extreme, and outrageous conduct, Defendant Campbell gained access to her and SA'd her. As for a fourth cause of action, violations of this code, she wants a jury. And it looks like she just wants a bunch of money, award and compensatory damages in the amount to be proved at trial by in any event in any in an amount that exceeds the jurisdictional limits of the lower courts, which would otherwise have jurisdictional to the extent permitted by law.
They must feel confident to do this.
Damages, lawyer fees. She wants prejudgment interest.
Like keep in mind, she's filing this compensatory lawsuit 11 months after all of this drama broke initially. This was in December of 2022. Well, I guess it's like 12 months, maybe 13. It is curious she's deciding to do this. Hi, sweetie. You're such a cute puppy. Such a cute girl. Do you want to come up here? Come on up here.
And awarding such other further relief. The only thing I'm curious about this lawsuit is, the alcohol thing was obviously not mentioned in the twit longer. And why wait a year from now? Not sure.
Right.
I'm sure people are going to have their theories. I'm sure she'll have something to say. But I'm also going to pose...
Okay, let me ask you this. Is it possible that she didn't seek out... Is it possible this wasn't her idea to do this? Are attorneys or litigators, are they sort of like predatory insofar as like they will look at cases like this and then like they will approach you? They'll say, hey, listen, woman, I think you've got a decent case. Let's do this, right? Like they will approach you about it. Okay, totally possible. Okay.
Question of Rich Campbell's lawsuit, which we're about to get into right now. Now we have Rich Campbell's lawsuit against her, which he filed this on the 13th of...
Yes, this girl, Azalea, I think is her name. She has been on the Whatever podcast once or twice. Yeah, and she's an OnlyFans content creator. This woman.
December. He suing her for defamation, intentional interference with a contract, intentional interference with prospective contracts, negligent interference with prospective contracts, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and he also wants a jury trial. Now, you see, it was filed on the 13th.
This is Rich Campbell's response.
Now comes plaintiff Richard William Campbell, an individual, and he files the following complaint against Azalea Lexi. She's going to be known as defendant or Lexi. Again, I blocked out her name, and if you see Lexi in the writing, it's because I put that there. And he's not only just suing her, he's suing does 1 through 10, which are any woman who made any allegations against him that, that may have reached out to OTK and said, hey, me too.
Was relayed to me by Lexi that as been communicated to her, there were several other victims and that there are corroborating factors in each story. She told me that she is also aware of one other victim that has a similar theater story to hers, and others that have stated without consent.
So, what does it say?
I would guess content creators like Casey Tron that are giving these takes publicly, that are impugning and defaming Rich Campbell's character, I would guess that Casey Tron is probably a target here. Do you think that Casey Tron, who is spreading these messages unsubstantiated on the internet to her platform, do you think that she might be one of the unnamed 10 individuals? I think it could be.
This is an all too typical case of the super fan groupie who has consensual sex with her crush. In this case, a popular influencer demands more of her crush's time than he can give. And then when he rejects her demands for a serious relationship,
specifically Lexi, an online quote influencer, OnlyFans quote model, a gamer groupie, and specifically Campbell groupie, who has a history of making false rape allegations, now alleges that Campbell sexually assaulted her when she invited herself over to his home after midnight after a night on the town with her friends. Oh, I need to know more about this. This has a history of making false rape allegations. What's that? I've never heard that before. Is that true? I have no idea.
retaliates against him by trying to tarnish his reputation and have him canceled by posting lies on the internet accusing him of rape. God damn. Rich is a popular social media influencer, content creator, and digital talent for the video gaming community industry. You know, we know he's the founder of OTK, One True King.
One
he
of the five.
previously hosted esports events and created content for various video games, including World of Warcraft. Unfortunately, he has found himself at the target of Lexi's vicious, repulsive, and conspicuously defamatory rants on social media. Specifically, Lexi, an online influencer, OnlyFans model, and gamer groupie, and specifically Campbell groupie, who has a history of making false rape allegations, now alleges that Campbell SA'd her when she invited herself over to his home after midnight, after a night on the town with her friends. Like, whoa,
Okay.
I mean, looking at those text messages, it can actually go either way. Here are the text messages, you know, where it's like, hey, are you in New York? Yeah, you know, oh, Ish, how long would it be cool to hang? Oh, what you doing tonight? You know, she like, look, I'm here, but I'm leaving tomorrow. You know, me and my friends are just at a bar, which, you know, shows that she's drinking for a bit. No formal plans, just catching up a bit. He says, if you want to hang out later, let me know. I was already in bed.
She said, I would catch up with you, but it's okay if you're already in bed. Would you want to come here and chill? She said, it's okay. I don't think that's something I'm comfortable with. He says, okay.
I would catch up with you, but it's okay if you're already in bed. Would you want to come chill here? It's okay. I don't think that's something I'm comfortable with. You know, so it more, hey, I would love to see you. Too bad you're already out of commission, but no worries. You know, he's trying to get her to come over so he can, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's like, hey, I got a little movie theater in my building. Would you want to chill there? I don't have a trek in me to go out this late, but that way we could chill and it's not in my apartment. So, you know, the goal is to get her on the property. Get her on the property, then you can see what will happen. Maybe she changed her mind. You never know. But it sounds like, you know, from her testimony that she didn't. You know, more, hey, when would you want to come? You know, he's excited to see her. I'm going to stay up. I'm so excited. Seriously, if it's too late, not a problem. I don't want you to wait around if you're going to go to bed. I'll wait up. Send me a pic and it'll help me stay up. Okay. LMNO, Rich, seriously, what? I want to see your face. I know what that's like. And here she goes. She said, hey, I'll be there. Do you still want me to come by? Now, I believe this is 3 hours ahead of time because of the time change. So it's really 12:13.
Yeah.
She says, hey, I'll be there by 12:40. Okay. Is that okay? Or should I just stay in Manhattan? He's like, come over. So she, you know, she bring herself over there. Now let's get back to this lawsuit.
Chat, do you think anything about this text exchange is weird? I I really don't. I really don't. I don't think that the exchange is weird at all. Now, what potentially comes after the exchange, if this woman is telling the truth, then that is weird and illegal and unacceptable. The text exchange that led there, I don't think is abnormal.
A vindictive Lexi made over a dozen social media posts and comments between December 15th, 2022 and June 29th, 2023, claiming that Campbell raped her. Her claims are ludicrous and an absolute lie. You know, and I said, hey, this is interesting considering like when this first came out, no one was supposed to say that she lied. But now you got the person involved saying, hey, she lied. This is going to get a little hairy. Now, he gives the backstory. The parties first met in or around 2018 and by 2019 engaged in consensual intercourse on numerous occasions. Lexi would often fly to various U.S. cities to see Rich perform at various esports events like Call of Duty League. During many of these trips, the two would engage in consensual intercourse. By Lexi's own admission, her relationship with Campbell was sexual in nature. And although she wanted more of a commitment, Campbell explained to her that he was not in that position to get into a serious relationship. This bothered her, and she frequently brought it up to Campbell, which often resulted in a verbal argument. On or about January 30th.
I think this girl loved Rich. And I think Rich was just keeping her around to fuck. I think that is sort of the axiom of the issue here. I think she really liked him. And I think Rich was just looking to fuck. I think that's the deal.
Lexi was having dinner with her two friends in Brooklyn,
which is fine. It's fine as long as that is communicated. And honestly, it sounds like at least that component was communicated, right? It sounds like Rich told her that I'm not going to date someone, right?
New York, where Campbell lived.
Well, no, because she would come back and say, oh, no, he would love bomb me and he would gaslight me and he would emotionally manipulate me, telling me that he wants to be more serious, and then, but it would never happen, right? That's what she said.
And this is right, guys. When you start having intercourse with these women, they get emotionally attached, and naturally, some of them want more. And when you keep in their mind, y'all may be together, so it could be some turmoil. Let's get back to the lawsuit. Now, don't take this date. This was about to be said is only a piece of what happened that night. After dinner, she went to his apartment. Now, this is his side of the story, but this is not the part where he introduces the key witness. After dinner, she went to Campbell's apartment at midnight. Approximately an hour after arriving at his apartment, the two engaged in consensual intercourse. So now you see he's saying, hey, it was consensual. While laying on the bed afterwards, Lexi again broke.
What she's going to try to say is, well, I had been drinking, and because I had been drinking, because I was drunk and he was sober, I can't consent. Even if I was drunk and I said, yeah, let's fuck, guess what? That's drunk me. I can't consent if I'm drunk. That's the angle here.
The subject of wanting a long-term relationship with Rich. Rich again told Lexi, nope. No, he was not looking for that. Not looking for a long-term relationship. She got angry. She got upset. This is according to his testimony. Lexi started to scream at Campbell and threaten him. Due to her belligerent behavior, Rich said he did not want her to spend the night, as he had to get up early in the morning, and he did not want to be up all night rehashing the same old subject. So this is an argument that they have on and off.
So Rich is saying, she came over, we fucked. This is the Rich take. She came over, we fucked, she got emotional, I was tired, I said, you gotta go. I've got shit to do in the morning. That's the Rich take.
Lexi refused to leave the apartment at first and then angrily stormed out of the apartment. Angrily stormed out. The two did not get together again after that night. Nearly a year later, on December 15th and 16th, a scorn Lexi posted on her Twitter addressed that Campbell has aided and raped her on January 30th, 2022. God damn. Jesus. So now what do you guys think? Where he's saying, hey, we had consensual intercourse. She tried to talk that relationship talk. I said no, like I normally do. She got upset, and as
Liz Cat here, by the way, is one of our VIPs. She is a gamer mom of 3 children, happily married. Liz Cat is just ripping. Liz Cat is by the way, an actual woman. Liz Cat is a woman. She is ripping in. Maybe, she says, maybe don't be a whore and a man won't discard you. Liz Cat, chill! Jesus! Liz Cat, Jesus!
As a result, I asked her to leave. She left angrily. But now, a year later, or almost a year later, she accused him of essaying great. This is new stuff, right? This is new stuff. On June 20th and 29th, shamelessly looking to capitalize on others' fame, posted a twit longer page of Campbell's celebrity girlfriend, Mia Malkova, a resident of California, who at the time had approximately 11 million Instagram followers, 3 million Twitter followers, 2 million on TikTok. His girlfriend, she out here.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
Jesus, that her boyfriend.
Okay, can someone tell me what the fuck is a funny up? Because there's this guy in my Discord server named Bone. His name is Bone555. He's always telling me to get my money up, but I don't know what the fuck is a money up. What in the fuck is money up? No, what the fuck is funny up? I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Boyfriend, Rich, was a rapist. At the time, Malkova's social media post was a photo of Campbell's that read, "I love Rich Campbell." Lexi posts were read thousands of times, if not higher, and Campbell's alleges on information and belief that Lexi intended the post to be understood as referring to Campbell, that in fact many individuals who read Lexi's defamatory post understood she was talking about Rich. So now you got the scorned ex-lover commenting under the new person's photo that he owns some other stuff. All right, this is some petty stuff. I mean, it's horrible. As a result of Lexi's defamatory statements, Campbell's partners at OTK asked him to step down from his lucrative job as a social media influencer. He lost valuable sponsorships. He was essentially canceled. Based on his earnings in 22 alone, he was
in 2022, Campbell expected to make roughly $1.8 million in 2023 through Twitch revenue and contracted sponsorships. It's a lot of fucking money. Jesus Christ. Based on his 2022 earnings, it was a 2023 projection to make $1.8 million. It's a lot more money than I'm making. I'll tell you what, though. Here's the thing about Rich. Like, Rich was never... This is my streamer view of Rich Campbell. Rich was never really like a streamer. Rich never streamed a whole lot. Rich would pop in for some really like short-lived kind of hype, and he would ride out the hype, and then he would disappear again. Or if he was doing something with Asmongold, he would hang out with Asmongold, and then he would do that. But he wasn't like a grinder. He wasn't an everyday streamer, right? In fact, I bet I could probably show you that. Let me go to this. He had a Rich W. Campbell. Can I do streams more? Okay, 2020. Oh, can I not see the chart? This is 2020, so I think this is the, oh, you know what this is? This is the Final Fantasy hype. So half the year he wasn't even streaming in 2020. Or that was 2021.
Halfway to my goal.
2020. Pretty irregular. He was never a super frequent streamer. 2022. 2022. Hit or miss. Half the year he's not here. He was a really come and go type of guy with his streaming. Where's our video? There it is.
Expected to make $1.8 million
I got money
in 2023 through Twitch revenue and contracted sponsorship. Rich Campbell's management forecasted approximately $1.3 million in 2023 sponsorship revenue, and he had been on track to make $500,000 in Twitch revenue. Campbell has not been paid a single dollar since Lexi's defamatory statement, while Lexi has gained a social
not
media
banned on Twitch.
followers
Nope, he's
by
not.
making her defamatory claim.
Right? At least I think he's not. I don't think he's banned. No, he never got banned. He never even lost his partnership. He's still a partner. Nothing happened to his account.
Now, look, he done lost $3.6 million. God damn. I mean, this goes to show you that all it takes is one allegation, and your whole life can be turned upside down. Even if the allegation is not true. I mean, we don't know if it's true or not. I mean, that's going to be for the courts to decide.
It's got to be litigated.
Based on the evidence available, I would imagine. $3.6 million gone. Lexi is simply a scorned ex-lover who is upset that her interactions with Rich Campbell ended and is now striking back in an attempt to damage the reputations of Campbell and OTK. She is accomplishing her goal. Campbell wants nothing more than to leave this behind, this painful history with Lexi, who has a track record, of making...
I want to hear about this.
To harm men by making false allegations.
I want to hear about this. What happened?
Cancel him. Oh, snap. Therefore, Campbell seeks legal action against Lexi to reclaim his reputation and unveil Lexi as a fraud for once and all. While Campbell supports free speech, he does not condone malicious lies from a vengeful ex-lover who was hell-bent on destroying his life. Lexi must be held accountable for the blatant falsehoods and disseminating on the internet, which have been viewed by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of individuals, including sponsors, his friends, his family, fans, as well as OTK's millions of followers. So he's still looking, seem like he's looking out for the organization, but we're just on the tip of the iceberg at this point. Now, we don't really need to read parties and jurisdiction. I mean, it is what it is, but there were some highlights from it. You know, he talks about his 608,000 Twitch followers and 217K Twitter followers. He's since lost a significant amount of that since then. But this is how he goes on to describe her. When there's about to be a little bit of hearsay, if you will, he's trying to paint a picture. She is a former flight attendant and current social media influencer, Twitch streamer, content creator, digital creator, self-proclaimed world traveler, gamer girl, and OnlyFans model. Oh man. At all relevant times, her friends and acquaintances describe her as jealous, says she embellishes stories to make herself sound cool, is promiscuous, and very open about her sexual exploits, constantly searching for a boyfriend, fishes for compliments, and often makes her body the topic of discussion.
So I would imagine that every single quote here, they have a citation for. So now he's trying to just break down her. He's trying to make her look bad because this is going to go to a jury, assuming it doesn't get tossed out, and he wants the jury to see, okay, this chick is fucking trash. This is a trashy girl. That's the narrative we're pushing right now.
Now this is all of course hearsay, guys. Which I mean, I get the picture he's trying to paint, but it's just unnecessary to me. He talks about her website, her followers on TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. But there's a line that stood out to me. She has posted online that she needs to find a sugar daddy and calling men derogatory names.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
She could be in a bind. She is no stranger to fabricating rape allegations against people who upset her. Campbell
What's up with that?
alleges information and belief that in 2017, she claimed her friend's boyfriend, now husband, SA'd her and tore her pants off in the process. Individuals with Lexi during the alleged incident have stated nothing like that ever happened. So, like, who is this husband? Who is this friend? And, with these cases like this, when these allegations are made, Will these people come forward and testify on Rich Campbell to establish, hey, this pattern of false allegating? The answer is probably nope. No. People don't want to get involved. Lexi is committing her defamatory attacks knowingly, purposefully, and intentionally targeting and directing her activities towards the state's residents, including Campbell's girlfriend, Malkova, and the intent to harm his reputation, disrupt.
So to be clear, it seems like there was some confusion maybe a month ago. People thought that they had broken up, Campbell and Malkova, the porn star. I guess maybe they're still together. Mia Malkova and Rich Campbell are still dating, maybe.
This business. So in doing so, Lexi availed herself on this forum and created a controversy which arises out of her contacts with the state, which is, fair play and substantial justice mandate personal jurisdiction. So I blocked.
Lucky guy, that a boy Rich. Damn, he's banging a porn star. Some of you guys are actually just so retarded. You're fucking Coomer brain retards. Do you guys actually think it's badass to date a porn star? Do you actually think that? L, big L, big L. Let's get an L for these fucking Coomer retards. L. That's a lowercase. Give me a capital. Capital L.
Locked out which state this is in, just to kind of like protect all parties. I know this is a very high charge case, and people may feel a certain way, one way or the other, and I just don't want people to be getting harassed. But will she argue jurisdiction? Like this lawsuit gets deeper as we go deeper into it. Okay, now look, here's another part. He will seek leave of this court to amend his complaint to allege the true names and capacities of such defendants when the same have been asserted. So what is he basically saying, guys, is as soon as he gets the names of all the other people who made false claims against him, he will add them to the lawsuit, and maybe more witnesses too, if
Have you talked about
you can
the Epstein stuff yet?
Yeah, we already did, actually. We spent a half hour on it today. Campbell will seek leave of this court to amend this complaint to allege the true names and capacities of such defendants when the same have been ascertained. Campbell will seek leave of court to amend this complaint to allege the true names and capacities. Okay, so there's 10 other people that are unnamed right now, and it sounds like maybe he doesn't have all the information of these people to publicly name them. Like they're still trying to get all the details, but that there are 10 people that he's coming after.
Allege the true names and capacities of such defendants when the same have been asserted. So what is he basically saying, guys, is as soon as he gets the names of all the other people who made false claims against him, he will add them to the lawsuit, and maybe more witnesses too, if you can get those statements. So he's leaving the door open to add to his original complaint. All right, now this is all skippable stuff. Now let's get to the facts common to all causes of action. So now you're about to get like a detailed history, but we're not going to read everything. We're just going to read the important parts, okay? So he talks about, hey, 2018, streaming and content creation, he was a successful business. It was for him. He leveled up quickly, fastly, going from playing World of Warcraft to hosting World of Warcraft games, Call of Duty, Dota, H1Z.
This might destabilize Twitch, TBH. Prepare your Kick account. No, this is not going to take down Twitch. This is no. It's going to be fine.
D1.
It's going to be fine.
He even, grew in stream, and he eventually started a podcast with fellow gamer Asmongo, Allcraft, I believe is the name of the podcast, who is now one of the biggest names in gaming on the internet, which he is. And you have to wonder, do they still talk? Are they still best friends? I know Asmongo said he will cooperate with anyone who files legal action against him to the fullest extent on both sides. So you have to beg the question. There's rumored that there were other victims who came forward and made allegations against Rich that community.
That's kind of what. So OTK dropped Rich real fucking fast. And then also you have Casey Tron saying, without any evidence, by the way, but she said that there were other women behind the scenes that came forward, and it's all in the background. And so one take is that these other women on the back of Azalea coming forward also came forward privately to OTK to sort of like give their opinion and say, hey, Rich has been weird with me also. I had a similar story. And then OTK dropped him pretty fucking fast. Did that actually happen? Were there other women that spoke up privately? I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea.
Communicated exclusively with Asmongold. So will he give Rich those names if legally requested?
I encourage any of the people that were affected by Rich and any of these things to seriously consider legal recourse. And of course, if that happens, I will comply in any way I can, limited as it may be. Again, this is not drama. These could be actual crimes.
During this period in his life, Campbell was constantly traveling. You know, he was a workaholic, guys. This guy was in Ohio one day, then he would be in Vegas, then California, then Texas, then he would go to Europe for Warcraft. You know, he worked a lot. But this is when he meets Lexi, 2018 and 2019. They met over social media. He slid into the DMs. They quickly learned that, you know, she was part of a circle of girls who went to all the Call of Duty tournaments and were always trying to date players or commenters.
Don't want that.
I mean, like, look, guys,
you don't want
I don't know
that.
nothing about these alleged gamer groupies, if you will, but they exist. Campbell alleges on information and belief that Lexi would often fly into town just to get her cheeks clapped by gamers and musicians. Eventually, this is Lexi, would have a falling out with those girls, and her inability to maintain lasting friendships became evident through recurrent emotional breakdowns that ultimately disrupted the bonds. Now, I mean, this does not prove his guilt or innocence, but I see he's trying to paint a picture to her character, if you will. Eventually,
it will be curious in the midst of these conflicting lawsuits. It'll be curious to see if any of these other women that might or might not exist, if any other women speak up about this. Any of the women that maybe a year ago might have approached OTK and Asmongold, if they exist. We'll see. I imagine if it's going to happen, it's going to happen pretty soon, probably.
Campbell and Lexi's communications became more frequent, including flirting and sexting, making plans to meet up. They first had consensual intercourse in 2019, and the relationship was, on and off for a period of approximately 2.5 to 3 years. So to 2022, Lexi would often fly to the city, which Rich Campbell was hosting the live stream, and stay with him for the night. As a flight attendant, Lexi often bragged to him that she could fly to meet him for free and would often pay to come to his shows. God damn. I mean, that is actually a nice quality to have in a friend with this type of relationship. To Campbell, it appeared as though she was following the Call of Duty tournament scene around the country and attended events in several states.
Okay.
Their relationship was never serious, and they often went months without talking or seeing each other genuinely.
So right now, he said this, we're trying to sort of like break down the character or bring into question the character of this woman. I do want to say something. Even if you are dating, even if you're married to someone, you can be married to a woman, and if you want to have sex and she doesn't, and you force yourself onto your wife, that's still rape. So that's not Hong Kong. That's actually true. So this logic where it's like, oh, well, we weren't even really dating and we had a casual sexual relationship, and so that's kind of how it was for a long time. It actually kind of doesn't mean a whole lot, because even if they were dating, even if they were fucking married, he could have still raped her, right? That's not like an impossible thing.
Generally, when one or both of them were in another relationship, damn, I mean, he was just a jump.
But we're just breaking down her character right now.
She was. Or he was, it can go both ways, but it sounds like she wanted more.
How do you prove that?
Campbell tried to avoid Lexi when she drank because she was obnoxious, loud, belligerent, and confrontational, especially with other girls.
Ooh.
She would often pressure Campbell to have a serious relationship with her, and then get angry when she said no. Now this is crazy right here, right? Because this kind of gives credence. I mean, even though you got the text message of her saying she was drinking, him acknowledging that she's drinking.
She didn't say she was drinking. She said she was at a bar with her friends, which probably means she's drinking, but it doesn't necessarily mean she's drinking.
Now, I don't know what his angle is going to be, if he's going to try to acknowledge that, hey, she was drunk, she was drinking, but she consented, even though she supplied those text messages, hey, I'm out having drinks with friends. I mean, it's just not a good look for him on that aspect. So let's get back into it. She would.
That is true. Okay, so in her original Twitlonger, she does not mention she was drunk or drinking. In her lawsuit a year later, she does say she was drunk and drinking. Yeah, which means she couldn't consent. That's the argument.
Frequently yell at him about arguments they had in the past. I mean, what are the odds of women bringing up something in the past? She would accuse Campbell of lying and start calling him names, which led to long breaks in their relationship. Then at some point, the two would start sexting again, and eventually Lexi would fly out somewhere to meet Campbell and again engage in, you know what I'm saying? Due to Lexi's behavior, it was not unusual for parties to go months at a time without seeing each other, and the cycle would start over again. They would meet up, you know what I'm saying, clap cheeks, and Lexi would demand he start a relationship, and then he would ghost her ass.
Listen, women, all of my young women tuning into my stream, you need to respect yourselves more than this, okay? As far as Rich is concerned, this girl is pussy on speed dial, okay? He's got pussy being delivered to his doorstep on a Boeing 747 whenever he wants, on speed dial. Women, you need to respect yourselves more than this. Like, she's deluding herself into thinking that he's going to date her. He's not going to fucking date her. He was doing this for years, right? And she would bring it up, and he would say no. He'd say, no, I don't want to date, but let's fuck anyway. Come on. Like, just advice. Women, this is not the type of guy you want to date. This is not the type of guy you want to have sex with. Don't do it. They're not going to date you.
Lexi retaliates against Campbell after rejects her attempts to force a long-term relationship. I mean, look, women, don't try to force it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, sometimes...
I've got some crazy kids upstairs. Holy shit.
Walk like a duck, talk like a duck. Then it's a duck. You might be in a relationship and you don't even know it. At the time when parties were seeing each other after one of these breaks on or about January 30th, Lexi informed Campbell that she was close to his apartment in Brooklyn, New York, having dinner with two girlfriends.
Yep.
A brief discussion with Campbell, then she took Uber up to his apartment. Approximately an hour after arriving at his apartment building, Campbell and Lexi went from Campbell's couch to his bedroom, where she had been many times before, and the couple had intercourse as they'd done many times prior. Now, this differs from the Twitlonger, but, you know, he's not going to say, yeah, I raped her, and she's obviously not going to say I was lying. So it's going to be his word versus his, but we're about to introduce
versus hers.
After the two finished having intercourse, Lexi waited a few minutes and then tried to engage in more. She wanted more.
I love the sound effects.
She needed it. She wanted it.
Great.
But Campbell did not reciprocate and indicated that he had to get up extremely early. So now she got rejected. I'm telling you, nothing hurts a woman's ego like rejecting her when she's trying to give it to you. I'm telling you, you wanna hurt a woman's ego, reject her when she's trying to give it to you. Because most men don't turn it down. They take it no matter what. Campbell's roommate was home at the time. Uh-oh. Now we have entered a witness. Okay? That's someone who could have possibly witnessed this happening. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering, well, who is the roommate? Well,
dig, bro. You like to dig.
He shows the roommate a couple times.
Who is it?
This is his roommate. Now, Joe's pizza with my roommate, a New York Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are enjoying your day the way you want to. Now, look, this was posted January 20th, 2018. You're like, well, Henry, it's old. How can this be his roommate? Well, let's go to something a little bit more new. He's showing off his apartment, but you're eventually about to meet the guy who was present during the whole ordeal.
Guitar.
Like, how's
Steve, are you wearing clothes? Do you want to put on clothes and say hi to my stream?
So his roommate's name is Steve, guys.
Steve.
This is Steve. It's nice to meet everyone. Hi.
Oh, look, my
Steve? Steve. All right. Hi, Steve.
man looks exactly like the guy from the picture, but how long have they been living together? Maybe it's something we missing.
Hey, hello. There you go, guys. This is Steve.
Also, I think you have like another package. It's like a big refrigerator in the package room.
I have another refrigerator in the package room.
If you want it.
So this is Steve.
Who the fuck is this guy? Like, this is like a character in a fucking Adam Sandler movie. Who the fuck is this guy?
I've been living with Steve for how many years?
6.
6? And
6
so we've
years.
been living with each other for a long time. Way back in the day.
6 years, guys. And this video was posted August 10th, 2022. So Steve is the guy he's talking about in his lawsuit. So now you have a new witness that can potentially clear his name and would.
Okay, Steve changes everything. Okay? If Steve gets up on the stand and he says, listen, this girl was getting violent, she was getting erratic, she was drunk, and I heard them had sex, and I heard her screaming at him. She wants to have more sex, and Rich said that he's got to wake up early, and Rich politely asked her to leave, and she wasn't leaving, and then he ended up kind of forcing her out of the door, and then she was banging on the door afterwards, let me back in, and then Rich had to cool her off, and then she went home, and that's the end of it. If Steve gets up there and says that, this is over. This is over. This is fucking over. In fact, okay, I'm gonna set aside truth for a second. Alexia knows that Steve and Rich are best friends. They've been best friends for 6 years. They're roommates. She probably knows he's home. Maybe she didn't know he was home. If she knew he was home, throwing out these allegations without a whole lot of proof is bad strategy because Steve could so easily debunk them, right? And Steve is boys with Rich, and Steve is going to defend his boy Rich. Regardless of what's true or not, right? Steve might defend Rich. And so it's kind of risky. I would bet that she didn't know he was home. She probably had no idea that he was there. And so now if Steve was there, Rich has to be able to prove Steve was there. Because what if Steve wasn't actually there? Yeah, Steve was probably in his room beating off while listening to it or something. I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing. Who knows? But they need to be able to prove Steve was there. If Rich wants out of this, that's what he has to do. Because it might be a lie. Steve might not have been there, and it's a lie. Who knows?
People are going to say is, well, of course it's his roommate. He's going to have his back. You're always going to have that narrative per se. But let's get back into the lawsuit. Campbell's roommate was home at the time. The roommates in the apartment have paper-thin walls and could hear the parties kissing, shoes and belts dropping on the floor, Campbell's bed moving back and forth as they were. There was no carpet.
Amazing.
Lexi making some loud-ass noises. At no point did Campbell's roommate ever hear Lexi tell Campbell to stop. Ooh.
To the contrary, he heard unusually loud, pleasurable moans and climaxing from her. There you have it, Steve. Excellent, Steve.
Ooh. To the contrary, he heard usually loud, her making noises as she get her cheeks clapped, and Steve was his roommate. So now you have a witness who Rich places at the scene of the incident. Where's the statement from him? It's no statement, but that can always come later. in the amended complaint should it get that far. As the two lay in bed, Lexi again approached the subject of getting into a more serious dating type relationship with Campbell. He calmly informed Lexi that she knew he was not interested in a serious relationship and that he was tired. Seemingly surprised by Campbell's response, Lexi's attitude suddenly changed. Now, she just got rejected and now the relationship talks, he's dead in that too. She's probably not in a good mood if true. She immediately became extremely belligerent, calling Campbell's names and demanding to know why Campbell would not commit to her, as Campbell tried to again explain his position. Lexi kept interrupting her. I mean, you've been in an argument. When you say something, they just talk over you. You are making no progress. No progress. If you've been in a relationship, you've probably been there before. He tried to calm her down again and explain to her that he had an early day and needed to go to sleep. Trust me, when they want to argue, they don't give two shits about your day. Lexi ignored his request and continued to yell at him and refuse. I mean, the roommate had to hear this. If they're yelling, the roommate is hearing this. He tried to get her to calm down. As a result, Campbell told her to leave his apartment, go to sleep at her friend's place, and as was her original plan. Campbell even offered to pay Lexi's Uber ride, but she refused and angrily left the apartment. Campbell later texted her and asked her if she was okay.
This is true. This was one of the text exchanges I remember. Okay, so look in the bottom right. All right, I'll be there at 12:46. Cool, see you soon. Hi, I'm here, coming. He lets her in. And then about 3 hours later, after she has come and gone, he messages her and says, "You okay?"
Because he did not like seeing Lexi upset. At no time during the argument did she ever accuse him of rape. So now we're at the evidence portion.
Okay.
So by February 2nd, Lexi was back to posting photos of herself and photos of herself and her friend on a bed, which there they are.
Wait, is this the same night? Wait, what? By February 2nd, Lexi was back to posting photos of herself. Okay, no, a couple days later. Not the same night. Couple days later.
Accuse him of rape. So now we're at the evidence portion. So by February 2nd, Lexi was back to posting photos of herself and photos of herself and her friend on a bed, which there they are on.
So the reason why this is being brought up is because the argument Rich's legal team is making is that if she had been raped 3 days prior, she probably wouldn't be behaving this. I don't know how compelling that of an argument that is. I think it's probably not so compelling, but that's the argument. If she had just been raped 3 days ago, why is she just everything is business as normal on social media, right? I don't think that's so compelling, though.
I mean, I don't know what this is supposed to prove or anything, but maybe suggest that she's, back to her normal business. I don't know what that's supposed to prove. Maybe she's back to her normal business. And he incorporated the pictures, heard the things that she was posting on the 2nd, on the 5th, just, hey, she's posting pictures. But now Campbell and Lexi did not speak after January 30th incident. Campbell had recently met Malkova and focused all of the intention and efforts into pursuing and developing a long-term relationship with her, which he was able to do. Since both of them are internet celebrities, news of their relationship was often discussed. Now we're about to get into some of the defamatory tweets that were made. Okay. Approximately 11 months after the January 30th incident, December 15th, jealous Lexi made the following defamatory post on her Twitter after listening to an interview with Malkova, where she talked about the relationship. Here's the tweet where her saying that he assaulted me.
This is just like 1 year later, very casually brought up on Twitter. I know Mia Malkova, in response to a video where Mia Malkova is talking about Rich having a pregnancy fetish. I know Mia Malkova isn't lying about Rich Campbell's pregnant fetish because he said he wanted to get me pregnant while he assaulted me and then sent me into the streets at 3 a.m. by myself with nowhere to go.
Kova, where she...
I'll say this. If I don't know. Maybe I'm not being fair. Maybe I'm not being charitable. I don't know. Like, am I being a dickhead? I feel like if Rich did what she said he did, bringing attention to it in this way is like unhinged. Like this is not how you drop that info. Like, this is not the way to do it. Like just like a passive aggressive tweet 11 months later. Oh, and by the way, I know he wants to get her pregnant because he wanted to get me pregnant, and also he raped me. Right? I don't know.
Talked about the relationship. Here's the tweet where her saying that he assaulted me. Another tweet that she posted was on December 15th, where he said, "Yo, I did. You know, rape cases are very difficult and generally not believed, especially when someone has
this
the
is true.
status he has, but people deserve to know." So we have that tweet.
This is true. Okay, so I think what she would have to do if she like really wants to, beyond any reasonable doubt, you know, prove to people that Rich raped her, outside of like having a rape kit or something, you'd have to have some text exchange. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe a text exchange where later that night or the next morning she's confiding in a friend in a text message where she's like, you know, messaging her mom or her best girlfriend, and she's saying, something really bad happened to me last night and I just got to talk to someone about it. Right, I had a really bad experience last night and I have to confide in someone. Or maybe she's messaging Rich Campbell himself and she's saying, "Rich, what you did to me last night, I really am not okay with that." Or a police report or something. Maybe she has a friend. It doesn't have to be a female friend. Maybe she has a friend that steps up and said, "Hey, listen, the following day I got lunch with her and she was in tears and she was crying about it, and then she has like someone else's testimony as well, right? Something more to fill in the gaps here."
We have more stuff. These are excerpts from her twit longer that was posted on December 16th. We've already went through that ad nauseum. She talks about, he talks about how her twit longer has over 1 million views. Well, it has thousands of views, but it's literally over 1 million as of today. Notably, rather than going to the authorities to make a report of the alleged assaults, Campbell alleges on information and belief that approximately 10 minutes after an alleged assault by Lexi, she posted on Twitter she may have been still in his apartment about clothes and PC gaming. Now, I did do a little digging, and the clothes post, I believe...
Wait a minute, hold up. Notably, rather than go to authorities to make a report of the alleged sexual assault, Campbell alleges on information and in belief that approximately 10 minutes after the alleged sexual assault claimed by Lexi on January 30, 2022, Lexi posted on Twitter when she may have still been in Campbell's apartment. Wait a minute, what? Wait, what? Notably, rather than go to authorities to make a report of the alleged sexual assault, Campbell alleges on information and belief that approximately 10 minutes after the alleged sexual assault claimed by Lexi on January 30th, Lexi posted on Twitter when she may have still been in Campbell's apartment about clothes and gaming PCs. Okay, so he's saying the time in which I would have sexual assaulted her, if her allegations are true, she's actually in my apartment posting about video games and clothing on Twitter while still in my apartment. That's what he's saying.
Amen. Now, I did do a little digging, and the clothes post, I believe, is right here, which it came on the 31st. I would sell my soul for that at 3:39 p.m. So this is kind of like the next day where she's looking at clothes. Now, I'm still, again,
that's
I don't know
next
what this
day.
has
Okay.
to do with the allegations accused against him, but maybe it's to show that, hey, she didn't post about this.
I don't think she was in the
Now,
apartment.
The funny thing is,
when she did that,
she did post the mourning the loss of who you used to be on the same day. Let's get to that tweet right here.
But this is the following day because it was the night of the 30th, right? So this is the following day, and this is subtweeting Rich Campbell, presumably, right? Probably
at 4:19 p.m. Now he still posts some more photos of her Now, this is all going to be in his evidence as he see exhibits. Now, I don't have the exhibits, but I were able to find some of them. What else did she do? The lawsuit is almost 1 year later. Now, he talks about this, right? Further, rather than go to the authorities and make an alleged SA, the scoring Lexi decided to take her complaint to social media, which is the court of public opinion, nearly 11 months later, in an attempt to ruin Campbell's reputation and gain a social following. As expected, she did see a rise. Now, look, the same thing could be said for Rich. Why did you wait almost a year? Now, I know the statute of limitations for defamation in most states expires after a year, but why not instantly file your lawsuit against her when the allegations came out and you lost everything? Why wait almost a year to do it? You see how I got questions for both sides. Now, he goes on to talk about the post that she made where she talks about how he violated her. And you know, she's suffered trauma. What else comes up? You know.
So I think that he drops his lawsuit a week and a half after she drops hers, after she releases hers, just in the last like week and a half or 2 weeks. And so you can say, it takes a year to build a case and get all this paperwork taken care of. But like, did it both take them pretty much the exact same amount of time, and then he drops his a week and a half right after hers, or is this more of a strategic timing thing? Maybe it's possible that he cares about his money more than his reputation, right? Because right now his reputation has already been ruined for a year, but she hasn't come after his money yet, and now she's coming after his money, and so maybe this is more of like in defense of his money, his bank account. His reputation is already fucked. Yeah.
She didn't invite him over. I'm not inviting someone to grate me because I posted photos with, you know, she does the whole swimsuit thing. Now, this is about to get wild, guys.
Okay.
Remember at the beginning of this video when I said, hey, you received a phone call from someone high up in the organization. And then he received another phone call from someone high up in the organization, plus another person. Now we're about to get to that story and how he may have been screwed out of his equity in OTK. Depending on how you look at the story, it can go both ways. OTK forces Campbell to issue.
Depending on what happens here, this might mean that OTK as an entity or people in OTK are the unnamed targets of this defamation lawsuit. I don't know. We'll see. Rich might be coming after OTK, maybe.
Issue a statement resigning from OTK as a result of Lexi defamatory statements. Now, by December 2022, Campbell was growing OTK and his social media presence, among other things, streaming regularly and focusing on being on-camera talent. Campbell was streaming weekly shows in Austin, Texas, flying to LA on Mondays to host Tuesday night gaming. He was also streaming the new World of Warcraft expansion in Texas. Campbell's busy schedule culminated when he flew to Bern, Switzerland to host the race to the world first vault for World of Warcraft on the Echo channel, you know, the event that was sponsored by them. After taking a long, tiring flight from the United States to Zurich, Campbell boarded a train to Bern, checked into his hotel room, changed his clothes, got right on camera to host the event. Campbell was in the middle of casting. He was doing a play-by-play when casting the show, when Lexi's 12/16 twit longer statement posted. Notice how there was no real address of her original statement that was made on the 15th. Now, here we go. Who do you think caught him? Campbell learned of the post while casting the Echo show. During a break, Campbell, Rich, received a call from OTK's then COO.
I think it's tipped out.
COO to discuss the post. What does he say? The COO informed Campbell that the 12/16/22 twit longer statement was not getting any traction and said, "Don't worry about it."
Oh, shit.
Like,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
could you imagine this? You were the COO. Your CEO gets a
Although, wait, listen, be careful. We don't know that Tips actually said this. Rich Campbell and his legal team are saying that Tips said this. But we don't know that Tips actually said this. Okay? Same burden of proof. We don't know he actually said this.
said, don't worry about it. Like,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
could you imagine this? You were the COO. Your CEO gets accused of something heinous. You call him, and according to Rich, he was told it's not gaining traction. Don't worry about it. Now, this is not going to look good with, OTK being, all the rumors of cover-ups and whatnot. But those are all alleged. But who was the COO? Now, my guess, I can't say this with absolute certainty. I suspect it was none other than Tips Out. A special message from the COO. This post is from October 3rd, 2021. Give me 1 second. Let me show you guys. It's from October 3rd, 2021. Now, I know this happened, towards the end of 2022, but was there any change from Tips being COO then until Rich's departure? Now, ironically, when looking at Ms. Kiff's legal battle with Adriana over the defamation.
Can you guys give me 1 minute? I'm going to look something up here. One moment, please. I thought that, it's not listed. Founder, content creator. Sorry, I was looking on LinkedIn because I've got OTK followed on LinkedIn, and so I was seeing if on LinkedIn if it shows who's doing what exactly, but I don't think it says actually who's doing what exactly. I don't think so. Anyway, whatever.
Someone who regards themselves as the CEO became CEO on the same day that Rich stepped down from the company. Co-founder, member of the board of directors, and the president and chief executive officer of OTK Media. Oh, who's the CEO? Hereinafter, OTK. I think it's Tips Out. All right. I have held the position of CEO and secretary since December 16, 2022, and previously served in the other executive roles. The CEO called Campbell shortly after. When Campbell answered the phone, he was met with panic voices. On the phone was the COO and OTK's lawyer at the time, the lawyer who Campbell had previously worked closely with. As chief executive officer of OTK, Campbell understood the lawyer to be representing him in his individual capacity and or in his capacity as OTK CEO.
OTK Campbell understood the lawyer to be representing him in his individual capacity and / or in his capacity as OTK's CEO. This is where it gets confusing, or this is where it gets muddled, because this lawyer has got to decide whose best interest is he going to look out for. Where does his loyalty lie, right? is he going to do what's best for Rich Campbell, or is he going to do what's best for OTK? Right, and those interests, those two things might not be the same.
Pay attention, guys. This is where it gets really tricky. At no time during the call was Campbell advised that he was not personally represented by the lawyer, or that Campbell should seek his own lawyer, because the lawyer was only given advice as OTK's counsel. Now, this is a little murky. What do you guys make of it?
What I make of this is that Rich Campbell is taking a swing at OTK. I would guess that some people in OTK are in these 10 anonymous names at the moment. That's what I would guess. That's what I would guess.
He goes on to say the proper protocol for OTK and the lawyer at the time would have been to inform Campbell that the lawyer could not give him legal advice and that Campbell should seek counsel immediately. God damn. After that, OTK and the lawyer should have initiated an independent investigation into Lexi's claims, just as the company had done about 3 months earlier when the SA allegations were made against founder Ms. Kiff.
After that, the OTK and the lawyer should have initiated an independent investigation into the sex claims, just as the company had done. So the way that Rich and his legal team are framing these interactions with OTK as all of this is unraveling, he's taking a swing at OTK. 100%. At a minimum, he's taking a swing at OTK's lawyer. At a minimum.
Now, you have to wonder, right? Did OTK act too fast? Did they jump too quick, considering now you have this lawsuit where basically Rich is denying everything, to the point where he's like, hey, I'm suing him in the court of law for my reputation back. And why didn't you guys investigate the allegations for me like you did for Mizkiff, where he was able to step away temporarily while they sorted out everything? You have to wonder, right? What was so compelling for OTK to make this decision?
True. What did they know?
What was the, hey, we believe this to be true? What was their smoking gun?
What did they know?
Did they need to hear to say, hey, Rich, you're out of here? What did they need to hear? What do you guys think?
Rich would have had equity? Probably, but we have no idea what the equity split was. We have no idea. Also, we don't know what the equity is valued at. Hard to say. What if when they made OTK, they said Asmongold has 100% equity and all the other 4 co-founders are going to be on payroll. They've got a salary. Or alternatively, it could be an even 20-20-20-20-20 5-way equity split, right? Who knows? Who fucking knows? I don't know. I have no idea. Who can know?
Let me know in the comment section. Let's keep
Who
it.
knows?
OTK did none of that. Instead, the COO and the lawyer forcibly instructed Campbell that he had to issue a public statement immediately. God damn, they just was like, do that shit. Which the lawyer would draft for him. So that tweet, that was not Rich's, right? Based on this, the COO represented to Campbell that he should not worry that his equity in OTK would be protected and that the Lexi allegations would blow over and they would figure everything out after Campbell issued his post. Like, damn, man, you got to wonder, right? You have to wonder, like, why would you tell me to make...
I do wonder what would have happened. What would have happened if Rich Campbell posted on Twitter, yo, I didn't do it. This is bullshit. There's no concrete evidence. And then also OTK did, let's say OTK backed him. They did not kick him out. Asmongold went live. S-Fan went live. Mizkiff publicly said, there's no evidence here. You've got one woman's testimony and it's fishy at best. Rich Campbell's denying it. We're going to move on from this. I wonder like, how would people have responded? It's really hard to predict the court of public opinion, right? I don't know if people would have been like, yeah, true, yeah, all right, whatever, moving on, or if people would have. Well, I mean, hey, people have been calling me a Nazi for 7 years. You know, people don't. People tend to. Yeah, yeah, no. Some people cling on to that stuff. Yeah, true.
this post. Now, The CEO also represented that OTK would issue a neutral post afterwards. So now it sounds like we're in bait and switch territory right here. Hey, do this and this will happen. And then after that, that don't happen. Okay? An exhausted, jet lag Campbell listened to the instructions of the COO, which is trying to say, hey, he was not well within his functions, facultatives to make.
Apparently, many other women came out against too behind the scenes. We have no idea if that's true. As far as I know, the only person that has said that publicly is Casey Tron. And maybe other women came out privately and talked to OTK, but the only like actual person that has said that publicly that other people came forward is Casey Tron, and I personally don't put a lot of value in what she says.
This decision, because this is such a huge decision to make, the legal ramifications of that tweet are about to be binding per se. An exhausted, jet-lagged Campbell listened to the instructions of the COO, and the COO and said he would comply with.
Stay safe. What do you not see? What do you mean? I don't see why kids love the great taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't see that. I don't get it. I'm just an adult. I don't know.
With the request. Moments later, the lawyer drafted a tweet that he had composed for Campbell to post and emailed the statement to Campbell. The lawyer actually waited on the phone for Campbell to post the tweet. And exhausted Campbell, in reliance on the COO and OTK's representations and believing that he was being advised by legal counsel and having not been advised to seek separate counsel, posted the statement drafted by the lawyer. It initiated, among other misleading statements, that Campbell had been requested to resign as a result of her defamatory statement.
So, the reason why we're saying this now is that the tweet that Rich Campbell said, hey, I've been requested that I leave OTK. I'm going to gather my thoughts. I'll make a public statement later. That tweet was written by OTK's lawyer that was looking out for the best interest of OTK, and that he was not Rich Campbell's lawyer. Even though Rich Campbell thought he was representing him and looking out for his best interest, he was not. He's saying this lawyer threw him under the bus and fucked him over. That's what he's saying right now.
And that he agreed to the request. Damn. Man, oh man. Do you guys feel for Rich Campbell? Because it sounds like he didn't know. Neither the COO nor the lawyer ever discussed with Campbell the likely result of such a tweet. Instead, they demanded that Campbell immediately make the post, the 12/16/2022 Campbell statement, without the advice of separate legal counsel or the benefit or properly evaluating how to respond to Lexi's defamatory statement. So basically, the tweet was used to get him out the company. No way he sends that tweet knowing the end result. If you say, hey, well, you know, your equity is fine and you're going to be fine, we're going to do an investigation, we're just doing this to save face. You put out the tweet, they like,
Do we have any proof that a crime occurred other than the word of some people? We have no proof that Rich Campbell committed a crime outside of the word of this woman, Azalea. Also, at the same time, I want to remain impartial here. We have no proof that what Rich's legal team is saying about the way OTK conducted themselves is true. Let me be very frank with you. Rich Campbell and Rich Campbell's legal team has a really strong vested interest in making OTK and OTK's lawyer look really bad, because if they can sufficiently do that in front of a jury, then they are. This is a $3.6 million defamation lawsuit, and if they can convince people that OTK fucked him over, then he can get a lot of money. Okay, so and right now we don't have evidence for what we're hearing. This is from Rich Campbell's camp, right?
Sorry, that shit's legally binding, brother. You're out. God damn. I mean, and they put out their tweet that, they learned of the allegations. He's out the company. Asmongold did the video. Everyone reacted. It was a crazy thing. But you got to remember, she posted the tweet longer, and he was out of the company officially a little over 6 hours later. So what type of investigation could be done that would lead to the level of conviction for Rich inside the organization? Now, I know Asmund said, well, I'm going to protect the privacy of the people. I know there's rumors of other victims, but, you know, these allegations sometimes have so much weight with little to no evidence. And as you see, Rich is like, these were not true, but he's now out of the company he started. He's out of millions of dollars. Everyone looks at him like as a creep, and now he's trying to claw back. I wonder, will anyone, you know, take back what they said? Will other people come forward? I wonder how this case is going to grow, if it grows at all, because sometimes, you know, OTK just ignores things, but, you know, let's keep it going. So
this could be an OTK settlement, right? This might not even go to trial. This could be OTK saying, listen, let's make this go away. Could be. Who the fuck knows? Who knows?
Campbell called the CEO to question why OTK wrote something so different from what they had told Campbell he was going to be posted. So bait and switch. The COO told Campbell he was overreacting, then ceased to communicate with him for months. So damn, they stalled him out. Talk about friends, huh? Build an organization with people, and Campbell is canceled.
I'm going to rewind this real quick. I just want to read this again. Campbell called the COO to question why OTK wrote something so different from what he told Campbell was going to be posted. The COO told Campbell he was overreacting and then ceased communicating with him for months. So this would be tips out, I guess. This would be tips out. Maybe. Rich Campbell does not like OTK. Rich Campbell is not happy with OTK. That seems to be the case. Rich Campbell's coming for OTK.
People, and Campbell is canceled as a result of Lexi's defamatory statements. Campbell lost significant sponsorships and deals by other contracts. By way of example, on December 19th, Enthusiast Gaming unilaterally terminated several of Campbell's lucrative agreements with the company, citing Lexi defamatory allegations. So now he's losing everything. He also...
Is that true?
Think about.
I want to get another one.
Yeah, next time.
Yo.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. That's an upvote for me though. Bloop. I'm gonna subscribe also. Like and subscribe.
So lost income from Twitch as well as equity value in OTK, which he took years to build. Jesus, man. Campbell alleges on information and belief as a result of Lexi's defamation.
Can I give you my opinion real fast before we move on here? If I had to guess, this is my personal opinion. I would guess that other women, probably several, came forward in this 6-hour window and reached out to OTK. That's my guess. Whether or not all of those women were telling the truth, or whether or not their stories were totally legit, I don't know. But I would guess that other women came to OTK in that 6-hour window, and OTK just kind of was like, fuck it, we don't want to deal with this. We've got 5 women. One of them has a tweet going viral right now. This guy's got to go. That's my guess. That would be my guess.
Defamatory statements. He lost millions of dollars in sponsorships, other contracts, as well as future sponsorships and other contracts, including like all these companies that would have happily signed him. But, you know, she doesn't stop there. You know, she continues in 2023 to post about Rich. So you have this post in that she made 2023. Lexi made several defamatory posts about Rich Campbell on Malkova's Twitter page in hopes of destroying not only Campbell's reputation, but Malkova's reputation in business as well. So now she's posted on the girlfriend's page, which means I guess they're still together. Shout out to her from holding them down if true. Like, you know, you don't get real ones like that anymore. They put the grape on you. They be skedaddling. Twitter loves you and the fact that you have a boyfriend that grape people. Like, God damn, Lexi. On June 20th, another statement via the Twit Longer statement. This is a different Twit Longer. I couldn't find this Twit Longer, but she said, hey, yeah, small enough for the dude who grapes women. Jesus, that was viewed about 5,200 times. I believe she deleted them because I was searching for them shits.
Dig, bro. You like to dig.
What else did she make? You know, your boyfriend's a grapist. Like, she just keeps going like, hey, he's a grapist. He grapes people. Your boyfriend raped me. All this other stuff.
So this chick is responding to every single post that Mia Malkova makes on Twitter and posting things like this. Your boyfriend did this. Your boyfriend did this to me. Your boyfriend did this to me. Your boyfriend did this. Okay.
You like, God damn, Jesus, all on the 29th. I don't know what Mia Malkova did, but sometimes, hey, people get set off. But you see all these allegations, like
Netflix and rapist boyfriend. Y'all can cuddle with her rapist boyfriend. Cuddle with your rapist BF. Look at my tits for your rapist boyfriend. Safe for your rapist boyfriend. Your rapist boyfriend is your porn addiction. Nothing here except what my rapist boyfriend is saying. I don't think that this woman is conducting herself very, very professionally. I don't think so. I don't think she's making herself look believable or trustworthy. That's my take.
Like, I can't imagine him putting this stuff in there without having screenshots of it, as he says, Exhibit 14. They may have deleted them off the post because what she was doing is she was posting under Mia's stuff so she can get the most tracking. You know, I mean, it's a Twitter hack, guys. If you want to get some traction, you want to get some impressions, post under someone popular saying some stuff. You know, everybody does it for the most part. Everybody does it. I mean, he tries to say that, you know, her popularity has risen, but like based on these numbers, like she gained like 100 TikTok followers. Oh my goodness. 26 followers she gained on like 2,600 on Twitter, 600 on Instagram. And this was just a short period from then. I'm sure her numbers have increased. I mean, he also goes on to say like, look, she's posted in, you know, bathing suits and swimsuits and lingerie, and, you know, of these 125 Twitter tweets, 95 of them.
It's infuriating to watch your abuser of a woman stand by their side despite being a literal rapist. Well, I mean, you don't know, and I don't know if he is a literal rapist. That's the controversy with all of this. I will say this. If Rich Campbell's roommate, Steve is the linchpin here. Linchpin Steve. If Steve makes a public statement and says, hey, I was there and none of this shit happened. None of it happened. Okay? And then this goes to trial and Steve takes the stand and he gives his take on this. I think Rich has a reasonable shot at sort of like getting his reputation back and maybe getting a fuck ton of money also. I think it is possible.
Are in bathing suits.
And a huge part of that is also because I think that this woman, the accuser, has done such a good job of making herself just look fucking deranged. She has made herself look so bad, I think. That's my opinion.
Million views on various social platforms. So now we get into, you know, the cases. Hey, defamation. These are the charges. What else? I mean, it's not much to see after this. You know, he suffered loss of reputation, shame, and mortification. He can definitely make a case for that. Now, intentional interference with the contract. Like, look, he put the contracts. So you look at it, hey, contract with OTK, Enthusiast Gaming. He had a talent agreement, NordVPN sponsorship. So he's putting the contract. So I imagine he has proof that, hey, I had contracts of this value that I've lost as a result of this. These charges he wants well in excess of the minimum jurisdiction of this court, which amount, you know, should be subject to proof at trial. The same thing as her. Intentional interference with prospective economic advantage. You know, like he lists all these companies. He says she was aware of this. She created that defamatory statement with the intention to dethrone him, the fourth clause, neglect, interference with prospective economic. These all kind of like mirror the same, guys. Hey, I lost these contracts because of your statements. Okay? That's pretty much all it. Fifth clause, intentional infliction of emotional distress. I always say, this is the hardest thing to prove in court. It got to be egregious. She got to be damn near harassing you, like banging on your door at midnight. Okay? And he makes the same thing. He says, look, guys, emotional injuries, including, he's unable to sleep, severe emotional distress, was not mild or brief, rather is so substantial or long lasting that no reasonable person in a civilized society should be expected to bear it. Like, bruh. I mean, it is a hard allegation. I can't, I'm not going to try to make.
Imagine he didn't do anything wrong. We walk down the other path where he's guilty and she's right. Let's walk down the path where she's insane and he did nothing wrong. How fucked of a situation would that be if you take it down that road, where he genuinely did not do anything? They had consensual sex, and then she goes on this bombardment, and he loses millions of dollars. His career is fucked. He's totally defamed. Right? Who knows? There are other people too. This is the thing. We don't know if there are other women that came out behind the scenes. We don't know. If I had to guess, I think in that 6-hour window on that day when the tweet came out, I would guess that other women came forward. I would guess, forward privately to OTK. I think other women probably privately approached OTK in that 6-hour window, and OTK freaked the fuck out. They panicked, and they said, we got to get rid of this guy. That's my guess. Now, it's possible Rich Campbell has an argument to be made that this lawyer he was working with, OTK's lawyer, kind of threw him under the bus. Okay, maybe a reasonable argument.
Make light of it. But he's like, look, humiliation, depression, anguish, embarrassment, fright, shock, anxiety. I mean, no mention of therapy. I'm telling you guys, if someone wrongs you and you want to make a strong, compelling case, go to therapy for a year and say you're still in therapy during a lawsuit. It makes for a stronger case.
Does it?
He wants
I don't know.
Jury trial, just like Donnie Depp. Here we go. And remember, he lost $3.6 million just in this year alone, and that was just on the low end. And he's just suing for money. He's gonna bankrupt her. If he wins this, it bankrupts her.
Not just her. There are 11 people mentioned in this lawsuit, 10 of which are anonymous, 10 of which, the identities of which have not been publicly stated, one of which we do know, and it's the woman Azalea, the accuser. Who are the other 10? Who are the other 10? I think it's probably OTK affiliates. It's probably some streamers that handled this situation, like YouTubers. Like I would guess that probably CaseyTron is in there, probably. And then I think it's probably people in OTK. That's my guess. Steve, imagine it's Steve. It's not.
And the
Steve.
thing about punitive damages, though, punitive damages, bankruptcy does not clear, especially like if it's like with malice. Like he made up this statement knowing that it didn't happen. If he has like proof, if that roommate comes out and just sinks her case and says, hey, I was there, this is what I heard, this is what I observed, he's deemed credible, then that would be a strong, compelling case for Rich Campbell. But as of right now, she has, hey, I said he assaulted me and that's my word. You should believe me and not question it. You're going to have the people like that who say, yeah, you shouldn't question it. But sometimes you got to believe all evidence, and right now her evidence is his word, where he has a potential witness that can clear his name. Now, as far as the other people who have spoken to Asmongold or others that alleged abuse, I don't know. Will they come forward, or will, they see that he's not playing and they say, look, no, I'm not coming forward. I see he's suing people. He's suing people who says that happened, and maybe they don't have proof. I don't know. But what?
Yeah, I would, for right or wrong, for better or for worse, I would guess that on the back of this lawsuit here, Rich has shown he's not fucking around. I would guess if there are anonymous women that came to OTK in that 6-hour window after the tweet dropped, they're probably not coming forward publicly. I think they probably don't speak up about this.
What do you guys think about both lawsuits? Both
Unless they have some really hard proof. Unless they have some really, really, really hard proof that he actually did rape them or something, I think they're probably going to stay anonymous. Let me
Let
see
me
here.
know in the comments section. Hopefully this video's a dub, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Peace. Okay. Thank you. Good video. Thank you. I'm gonna reload this. Get some new comments. Let me see here. Link it. I'll link the video, and I'm gonna check the comments. Sort by new. I really don't like Rich and thought he was the most annoying member of OTK, but in all honesty, I would give his defamation case a 55 out of 45. I definitely see the clout chase. I only want Rich to win, so Mia Malkova starts Twitch streaming again. I don't care about either side. I just miss Mia Malkova streams. T. Coomer. Well, it's about time we hear something about this. Honestly, as long as he's stayed silent, just made him look more guilty. Yeah, I do think so. I think people probably just assumed he was guilty because he said nothing. But nope, he was cooking. He was cooking. Silence is the loudest admission of guilt, but maybe it seems like he was getting the lawsuit prepared instead of addressing the public like he said he was going to. Smart. Well, he didn't say he was going to address the public. OTK's lawyer posted that tweet, according to Rich. According to Rich in this lawsuit. He's not even the one that posted that. So per Rich's final word that we heard a year ago wasn't even from him. Remember when Asmongold said he knew even more shit about Rich? Yeah, he's definitely a scumbag. He's suing her for not going to the police right away and not coming forward with his sexual assault earlier. Keck W scum. This guy's saying that Rich is a scumbag? It's entirely possible that in that 6-hour window, OTK had several more women come to them. And they just didn't, like, OTK just didn't want the heat, right? I think that's probably what happened. Probably what happened. Probably what happened. Now, if Steve... It all comes down to Steve. It all comes down to Steve. And so Steve is actually in a pretty powerful position. Steve could totally lie. Maybe Steve wasn't even home that night. Who knows? But if Steve just comes out and says, yeah, I was home, and they were having a great time, and then this woman got belligerent. And Rich was nice and civil, and this woman was crazy. And Rich did nothing wrong. If Steve comes out and by the way, that might be a total lie. Steve is in a crazy position here. Who knows what Steve is going to do? Who knows? Who the fuck knows? But I think Steve and so another thing Steve and Rich would have to do is prove that he was actually there that night. Do we even know for a fact he was there? I don't know. We got to prove that. Who the fuck knows? Great video. We got the update. I need to pee really fucking bad. If Steve's testimony is that he was there, that's probably sufficient. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I would guess that this girl, Azalea, didn't know Steve was there. Because it's like, are you gonna fire allegations like this off in Twitlongers if you know there's another guy in the house that can disprove you? Like, probably not. Because then there's a witness. Probably not. I think Sneaky Steve was in the house and she had no idea. I think she probably didn't know. Okay, let me check the LSF thread. Let me take a look. Okay, Rich Campbell. Bunch of new threads or new comments here. How do I sort by? Sorted by? New. Asmongold is banning anyone who mentions it. Oh, the irony. 2024. By the way, I think it's fair if Asmongold is like, or any OTK member is live on Twitch, they're doing a stream, if they don't want to talk about it. They have no obligation to talk about it on their Twitch stream if they don't want to. Bro, I completely forgot this guy existed. Didn't he move to Japan or something? No. No, he did. It's totally not even... That's not what happened. No, that's not what happened. Not what happened. Okay, can I let me give you my opinion, okay? I'll give you the bullet points. This is my guess. My guess as to what happened. Okay? But first I'm going to go pee. Meaning I think it was consensual. That's my personal opinion. I think that, and we'll see what Steve, who's the roommate, has to say, as he was a witness. As he was a witness. We'll see what Steve has to say. I think that I would guess that immediately after, what's her name? Azalea posted her twit longer accusing Rich of sexual assault, that other women privately approached OTK. Who knows whether or not what they were saying is true. And the reason why I say this is because I think Rich was probably a fuckboy, and I think he was probably doing this to multiple women. Reason. Rich was probably a fuckboy, stringing multiple women along in similar fashion. And maybe these women didn't know about each other. So when they saw the twitlonger going viral equals they're mad, pretty much, right? Now, OTK. Once again, all of this is my opinion. I'm the audience. I'm trying to piece this together, okay? I'm trying to piece this together, and this is my opinion. I don't have any information that you guys don't have. These are just like my opinions, man. Aren't I an OTK? No, I've never been an OTK. I would guess that OTK freaked out and was looking to quickly cut ties with Rich as this unfolded over 6 hours or so. In the mix, OTK lawyer. How can I put this? Sort of fucked over Rich. Rich might have a case. He might. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Emergency damage control? Yeah, probably. Probably. And I'm actually saying this. I'm saying that Rich might actually have a case and might get some sort of settlement, or maybe this thing actually goes to trial. I like the people in OTK more than Rich. Yeah, like magnitudes more. I like Asmongold way more than Rich. In fact, I haven't talked to Rich in like probably 2 years. Way before this stuff even happened. I like S-Fan way more than Rich. But I think it is what it is. We're witnessing OTK. No, this is not the OTK downfall. No. No, OTK is not going to implode as a result of this. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They might. Oh yeah, I like Tips Out too. I like Tips Out too. I shared some messages with Tips Out not too long ago actually. Yeah. Rich and OTK was even before all this the person that I was like least close to, I guess. I don't really know NMP that well. I've never talked to Seer, never have.